Good morning. Oh, good morning, Loyd. Senior checking in this morning. It's Thursday. Excuse me, Thursday. It's Wednesday. So it's going to be a little bit of a cooking day here for my Blue Plate Special Day. And today I'm doing a cornbread today using 2 boxes of Jiffy Mix. And this is basically, I've made a cornbread like this before, but I used it was a from scratch recipe using cornmeal and flour and the whole 9 yards. This is the easy way of making my cornbread. And like I said, this morning, my cornbread is going to contain 1 apple. It's been all diced up. What do we have here? I think I have a half a cup of walnuts that's going to go in, and 3/4 of a cup of dried cranberries, and 1 ripe banana, which I've already added to the mixing section here, the liquid stuff, and 2/3 of a cup of milk. So I've already taken the banana, a very ripe banana today, put it in here. I have the 2 eggs that are required for the mixture. My dry mix is right here. I'm going to be adding the milk right now, and I will stir that up just a mite before it goes into the dry mixture. I have my pan over here. This is a 9x9, by the way, that I'm using today. It's a double batch. Just getting all the good stuff broke up here a little bit before I put it into the mix. The banana needs to be smushed up, and that's what I'm doing right now. Yep. Alright, I'm going to use my whiskey dough here to finish it off. There, we're almost there. A mite of drippage I'll remove, and we're getting ready here. I'm going to add the liquid mix. Hard my back, trying to get a little bit of in here. I'm going to be adding the liquid to the dry. That'll all get in there. Oh, there! Kimasabi. I'm going to have to do a little rinsing here. Can't hang on with your equipment today. So we continue on here. Got the whisk. I want to mix all the cornbread in. Mixture in with the liquid. And I broke up the 2 boxes of cornbread that I put in here. I use the whisk dry in it to break up any of the big clumps, because sometimes they come out kind of clumpy. But I'm just about there, I think. It's starting to mix it up nicely here. Don't want to mix it too much. Alright, now I'm going to add some apples. The dried cranberries. The walnuts. Now I'm going to use my spatula to work these little critters right in there. We'll see. Right. The oven is on 400 degrees, and oh dear, my pan has been lubricated, and this is mixed as good as it's going to get here. Try to get it all in the pan. Squeegeerino here. Squeegee it down. All right. It don't actually come too much easier than this. And what I'm thinking here, my method to my madness on this is that I'm thinking that this might be just a little bit sweeter than the from scratch one. The packaged mixes always tend to be more like a cakey kind of cornbread. But that's nothing wrong with that. There we go. We're one missing apple. So, sorry about the back. Woo! The oven is at 400 degrees. In goes the cornbread. And let me see here. Make sure I check my time, which is 15 to 20 minutes. So I will be turning off the camera, setting my timer here. Cook time. Timer. 1. Alright, we'll go with 15 minutes and get this critter going. Well, I do salt senior checking out. Well, the cornbread is done. I'm going to tip it up a little bit so you can get a view of it. I don't really want to burn my fingers. But, alright, just before I took it out, it took approximately 40 minutes. Just before the 40 minutes, I took it out and I brushed some nice butter on the top and I put it in for another 2 or 3 minutes. So, it pretty much passed the toothpick test, so it should be ready to go for lunch. We'll let you know how it tastes when we have some for dessert. Right now I'm getting some water boiling because I'm going to be making some elbows. And for lunch today, it was going to be elbows with some of my world famous spaghetti sauce, which I already have made a video on. Well, it's going to be half of my world famous spaghetti sauce and half of my world famous chili. Now, you say, how can that happen? Well, when you freeze up containers and put them in the freezer, you put your sauces in the freezer. Have a container like this, and I had it frozen in there, and I said, geez, grabbed one. I said, I'm going to need 2, so I went and grabbed another one, forgetting that I had some chili in there. So what we have today is about one of these of my world famous spaghetti sauce and one of these of my world famous chili. So it's hopefully it's a steak that's going to taste good. We got 2 old guys that are going to try it for lunch. So that's where we're at right now. The water's boiling for the elbows. I have the spaghetti sauce and the chili in the oven warming up a little bit. And I'm going to check out now, and we'll check back in a little bit later. So Loyd Senior checking out. Hey, Loyd Senior checking back in. As I said earlier, the cornbread is done, sitting on the counter here. Right now I'm keeping an eye on the elbows, and my spaghetti / chili mixture is in the oven warming up. I got the oven set at 200 degrees, so when the time comes I will blend the elbows with the sauce. Right now I'm just keeping everything moving so nothing gets sticked or boiling over. I don't want that either, so I'm going to just turn off the camera again and keep on keeping on here, and I'll update you in a bit. Okay, the elbows are done. They've been drained. I'm just about to put them into my casserole dish with all the sauce. And I'm going to do this by eye. Oh, son of a gun. Looks like the whole works is going to say, I'm going to have to check it out. I think everything's going to go in here. I'm just going to mix everything together with the elbows right now. And that's going to go back in the oven and cook for a bunch of time. Till noontime. So we're talking 11:04. So it's going to go in the oven till noontime probably. Just let the elbows soak up the juice of the sauce. And all right. Put the cover on. A little warm. Sometimes you gotta pay attention to what you're doing here. All right. Back in the oven. I'm going to bring my oven up to a little bit higher here. I'm going to go to 225. Start. So I'm going to set the oven for 225 degrees. Casserole dish is back in there with the combination of sauces. The elbows are mixed in. And I'll let a little bit of heat and some blending go on here, and we'll let you know how it tastes when it comes to be lunchtime. So Loyd Senior checking out. It's time for me to take a break. Well, I'm back. I made a mid-course correction here, well, or adjustment, I would say. I added some Mexican 4 cheese to the top of the casserole and covered it generously, and it's back in the oven at about 2 1/4, and I think I plan hopefully is to just before lunch put it under the broiler, depending on what it looks like. That's shall we say, firmed up, but tentative, could change. So Loyd checking out. It's about 11:29, so won't be long. It'll be lunchtime. Well, it's getting pretty close to that time. I did decide to put the casserole, or whatever you want to call it, under the broiler, and I'll be taking it out. I'm going to turn this off here. There we go. Oh, dear me. Oh. Well, it looks pretty. Let's see if I can tip this enough so you can see what it looks like. Here we go with the cheese on top. You can see it's starting to brown up a little bit. So that's ready. The cornbread is sitting there waiting to be tested for dessert. So Loyd Senior checking out, and we'll let you know what this tastes like in a little while. Well, Loyd Senior checking in. The guest of honor has arrived. It's about time to see what we ended up with here. And as I said, I did tip it over, so that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to have to find a way to get it out and soy it. I'll try to get out of the way here. Use a pothole here. I don't want to hear you. I don't want you to hear me cursing when I try to incinerate my hand. All right, got a nice top here. I'm going to go down and get a little bit of the filling. And there we go. We'll start with that. So that's Paul's. And that's what it looks like. We'll let you know what it tastes like. Loyd Senior checking out. Loyd Senior checking in. Okay, believe it or not, ain't no lie, this came out awesome. It was super good. The cheese on the top just made the whole thing different. And the blending of the chili and the tomato sauce is not half bad at all. So it's time to see what this cake is going to look like here. Cornbread, I should say. Try to cut it a little bit. See? You got a lot of goodies in there. I'm hoping for the best. Can he do it? No, why not? He did it! Look at there, will you kitties? Well, we're going to find out if it was cooked long enough. Because there is a lot of goodies in there to cook over and above the cornbread. So, I won't lie, we'll let you know. Loyd Senior checking out. We're going to put on some ice cream on top of that, or on the side. Vanilla peanut butter twirl. Not swirl, but twirl. So, we'll reach in and find my handy dandy scooper-doo. one thing's gotta be sure, you can't mess up the ice cream. So we'll go with that. How's that? I could mess up the cornbread, but I damn sure didn't mess up the ice cream. And I'm gonna treat myself with a little bit of extra. I'll actually go on the light side, but I'm not gonna worry about my figure at the moment. Okay. That's what these two delicious desserts look like. Now, they look delicious. We'll let you know if they were delicious. Check it out. Loyd Senior checking in for the final time today. All right. As we said, this combination of spaghetti sauce and chili worked out real good, especially with a little bit of cheese on top, and give it that nice little last minute adventure under the broiler to kind of crinkle the cheese up a little teeny bit. It tasted very good. So it was an accident that turned out to be a pretty good lunch. Okay, now we get down to this little critter right here. This is the double batch of Jiffy Mix with the banana, apples, cranberries, and walnuts in it. Cooked it for at 400 degrees, if I remember correctly, according to what it says in the box. For instead of 30 minutes, it was closer to 40, but you really want to keep an eye on it and just kind of check on it and give it the old toothpick. Now, one thing you'll find when you have a lot of fruit in it like that, sometimes you kind of move around because you could get an apple or a piece in there and think, oh, it's not cooked. But anyways, I digress. Came out absolutely delicious. Made with the Jiffy Mix. It's more, you could say it's more like a dessert type of thing, more like a cake than the original one that I made before, which is from scratch, which has flour and cornmeal in it. So it's a little bit more coarse. It's not to mean it's bad. It's just a little difference in the flavor. This is more of a cake type of flavor, and with the ice cream that we use, I think peanut butter swirl, something or other, twirl, is absolutely delicious. So I've run on long enough. Loyd Senior, be checking out. I'm going to dedicate this to a friend of mine. Her name is Doris. We've been friends since, since forever. So, Loyd Senior, checking out. Have a good day, everyone. Oh yes, and don't forget to subscribe, please.